And good evening to you all. Welcome to the Whitfield Report Wave, which will not be a standard thing. I'll mainly keep these streams titled just like TWR and then the day of the week. But, in this instance, I just have to call the show the Whitfield Report Wave because, man, I am riding high off the wave of the excellent work that Mersh, the daddy of the night, as I call him. I don't call him the night daddy. I refer to Mersh as the daddy of the night just because it seems, I don't know, kind of poetic. Um, but yeah, that was amazing. It really truly was amazing. It as someone who has uh, wanted to see Owen crumble like that for a while. I mean, I have no problem admitting that I have gripes with Owen, as most of you know. That was just beautiful to watch. Absolutely beautiful to watch. Uh, just yeah, it's beautiful. So I was trying to super chat to Mersh, and unfortunately I can play here because I'm using Streamlabs on the iPad, so there's no way for me to pull up another window on this. But you guys, if you're new to the channel, I'm going to recommend that one of the first videos that you guys watch is an excerpt from one of my last streams. It's called TWR Excerpt. Johnny Arcade explains the economics of unauthorized TV. And in that clip, Johnny Arcade had basically come on like a 5-hour TWR Saturday after show stream, which I usually do. And he broke down the economics of unauthorized. Long story short, and for those of you who don't know, it's looking like, from what we've been able to gather, that you have to pay like per separate channel per person unauthorized. So like if you want to watch Vox's stuff, you have to pay for him, and then if you want to watch Owen's, you know, one show, you have to pay for that. But then if you want to watch like his wife's gardening show, you're gonna have to pay for that. And the one person who I guess was like worth paying for is Chuck Dixon. And Chuck Dixon, I don't know why Chuck Dixon is allying himself with Vox. And for those who don't know, Chuck Dixon is a pretty well-known comic book author, and he's the one who created Bane for the Batman, comic book in the 90s, and the whole Nightfall story arc, the whole Batman Nightfall story arc is actually pretty cool. But Chuck Dixon is a conservative, but for some reason, like, he got tangled up with Vox, so I guess like somehow he's going to authorize TV, which I don't know why. Like, dude, you used to work for DC Comics and Marvel Comics. Like, you could sell your own content, and he has. and it's been more successful. I don't know why, you feel like you need to go to Vox. Maybe Vox begged him. I don't know. At any rate, so for each of the unauthorized creative channels, you have to pay individually. And Jolly Roger, who is one of our regulars in the chat, after watching that video, he burst out laughing, and the way he cracked up laughing, the way Jolly cracked up was the best laugh I've ever heard of, someone just laughing literally on air at Owen Benjamin. It's beautiful. It truly is. I mean, that is pretty much where Owen is now. Owen is now the laughing stock of the internet. He really is. And, I know that some of the bears are going to come in here and say, well, Owen's doing, God's work, and, he's awesome, and you're just being a gamma male. Well, what has Owen actually done besides, stream from his backyard and, gone off about the Jews? I mean, he doesn't do comedy anymore, even. He quit that after my good buddy Chuck exposed Nimmer. That was the end of that. He doesn't do, he doesn't write any new material because all of the good bears, which is cringy to say in and of itself, but all of the good bears who wrote all of his good material are all gone. And let me just clue you in. Johnny Arcade, Near Jolly, everyone who left because of the Nimmer situation, we were the ones who wrote Owen's material. Well, not really me, because I was only there for a month, but the vast majority of the people who were writing Owen's stuff when it was actually good, before he went crazy, are all people who have been kicked out or, chosen to leave because of the cult mentality. So, we've pretty much all gone over to ROTC, over to NightWave. Now, here's the thing. And I'm not trying to suck Mersh's, dick here, because that would be gay. But Mersh, at least, can write his own jokes. He, Christy in the chat goes, yeah, yes you are. Well, Christy, well, yeah, I'm not gonna make that joke on stream, but well, Mersh at least can write comedy on his own. He doesn't need people to write jokes for, but he's not dependent on the crowd or from his donors to do material. He'll ask people to, do creative stuff with their, talents, and people will, but he's not dependent on it like Owen. Now look, I'll admit, I've been, I came from the world of serious political commentary. So this whole like internet like trolling thing is a bit new to me. I'm going to get back into more of like the political stuff in like 2020 probably, or later this year once the actual presidential election kicks off more or less. But I have to say, I when you're dealing with someone like Owen Benjamin who does not take, uh, who claims to be a political figure, but you know, doesn't take the job seriously at all. It's like, why should we take him seriously? So I'm enjoying trolling him as much as you know, you guys are. It's hilarious, and a lot of people are asking, well, Sam, when are you going to get back to serious political commentary? Like I said, the election is coming up, but let me also make something clear to Owen and to the Bears and to everyone else who may be tangentially related to Owen. Uh, NightWave is not going away. RTC is not going away. Johnny Arcade is definitely not going away. The Danger Zone is not going away. And at the Whitfield report, we hear the Savages were not going away. And although a lot of these groups share the same people, we each have our own, individuals. We are, to quote Mersh, we are going to meme you off the planet, Ellen. Not just that, but we're going to commentary you off the internet. And here's the other thing, Owen, while I'm on this rant. Get the hell out of my conservative movement. Get the hell out of the right. Go back to the left where you belong. Just go. Get out of here. You should have never come into this movement at all to begin with. You LARPed your way into a position that you had no place being in whatsoever. You didn't leave Hollywood because you were speaking out against trans kids. Most likely, you weren't getting work as a D-list actor. You saw that the right-wing culture wars were a big thing on the internet, so you decided to slowly LARP your way into the scene. And I'll admit, you did pretty damn well there for a while. You managed to go all the way to the top and even get on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I know you hate Joe Rogan. I know that you hate Ben Shapiro. I know you despise him. But like Joe Rogan, or not, and like Ben Shapiro or not, those two are at the top of the podcast game. Rogan is number one, whether you like or not. Shapiro, even if you don't like him, objectively, his podcast is up there. You had a golden opportunity, as Rush Limbaugh would say. You had a golden opportunity to make the most of being connected with those two. You took their audiences, and then they tried guiding you, Owen, how to navigate the political and, culture war minefield. Rogan gave you excellent advice, not really to change your values, what you were fighting for, which at the time seemed to be pretty noble. But, you know, like if you're trying to be a serious commentator, maybe you don't want to throw out, things like, you know, making fun of David Hogg's pubes. Maybe you don't want to be shouting the N word every 5 seconds on Twitter and, basically gloating and tempting, Twitter to ban you. That's the other thing, Owen. Like, I know that you rode the wave once you got banned off of Twitter because that's a popular thing to do. But you were also practically begging Jack, taunting Twitter to ban you from its platform. You were begging for it, literally, in some of those streams. And when they did, you spiraled. You went on the bandwagon. You got as much airtime as you could, which wasn't much. But then as soon as you saw that no one was, that everyone had moved on, and that no one, that your news cycle had ended, you wanted to get back on Twitter. And then when you found out, oh shit, I got banned for reals this time, you started to lose it. In my opinion, that was the beginning of the end for Owen's career as a legitimate political commentator. Now, a lot of you bears are like, well, who are you, you scruffy-haired nobody? You only have 400 subscribers. Let me tell you something. I don't want to boast my credits here, but since you freaks keep asking, I'll tell you, I might not be the most famous guy on the political right. But I've been one of the longest. I started in 2008 when I was still a teenager. I was one of those weird, I'll admit, I was one of kind of those weird, like, history and political junkies in school when I was a kid. I mean, I wouldn't really even say, like, I grew up, conservative or liberal. Like, my parents are actually split politically, and I won't, reveal too much information on them, but, long story short, I was taught to look at both sides of an issue and, think critically. And, even though I went through public school, my parents always took the time to really sit down with me and break things down and get me to think critically for myself. And by the way, they never told me that I was, a genius, or that I was, smarter than everyone else. They told me I was smart, and they told me I had potential, but, if I messed up, or if I got, like, a bad grade, they were like, you have a good brain. Use it. They pushed me. So, as a result, I started looking, at things around me at kind of like a early age. Really, the 2008 election was when I first kind of became, like, politically conscious. Or when I started this whole thing. Barack Obama at the time was a senator with no voting record whatsoever. I mean, Obama had no voting record whatsoever. None that was clear. And I simply brought that up to like a few of my friends and to a few of my teachers at the time, and got lambasted for it. Got called, racist, all of the buzz terms that we hear now so often. And you know, I I saw the culture war uh, in its early early days, and when I started the show, I have to admit I kind of had like I was, like I said, I was young, and I was a bit more idealistic, that maybe I could, somehow save the country through my podcast, and I could expand, conservative values to the next generation, and that I could change a generation with my talk show collectively, along with some of the other young conservatives who were rising at the time. And, you know, I I didn't say we really won. It's an ongoing thing, but like as soon as I realized that the idealistic part of like trying to change in a generation, once I realized that that was never going to happen just because of human nature, I just decided doing like more political commentary and culture stuff like I do now. Um, and I have fun with it, but also let me tell you, I interviewed Ben Shapiro when I was a senior in high school in 2012 during that election, shortly after Andrew Breitbart passed. Andrew Breitbart was another huge influence on me. I've done streams all about Breitbart's influence on me. I've met and have friends who worked with Breitbart personally. Point is, Bears, I could go on, but I've been at this game longer than Owen. Well, Sam, Owen's, far better known than you. His audience is better. You don't even have 1,000 subscribers. Well, Owen should be well known on YouTube, mostly because at one point he did have an agent. He did have a tele agency and a PR firm that helped him grow his, channel and verify it and all that stuff when he was still like a comedian. I don't believe that channel was completely organic. I think he's had that channel for a long time. I know that. So yeah, he definitely had a handler. But I've been doing this organically, and I've been at this a long time, and I've grown slowly. I've had to put my sweat and tears and maybe a few drops of blood into this whole thing, but it hasn't been that bloody. But no one really helped me out. I had offers from, I will tell you without going into details, when I was a senior in high school, I did have a few people from CPAC reach out to me at a few different points, and they wanted to, make me the next young conservative star, much like Charlie Kirk and, C.J. Pearson and a lot of those other young conservative stars who are now starting, to get caught up in their own ego and whatnot. And but my mom said, no, you're finishing high school first, and You know, you're almost done with your Eagle Scout project. And I am an Eagle Scout, by the way, too. I don't, you know, like to bring that up too often, but as long as I'm touting my accomplishments, less than 1% of all boys who join the Boy Scouts become Eagles. And, you know, I could probably build a better fence than Owen could due to the Craftsman merit badge. So, apologies for kind of the long-winded resume. I don't mean to boast, but since the bear's been asking, well, you're a nobody. Okay? That's basically my resume. So, yeah. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I mean, CPAC is weird. I will say though too. I've kind of always wanted to go just for the experience, but I don't really anymore. Like I did, but now I don't want to. When I wanted to go, I could never afford it, and I mean I still can't afford it, but now it's just lost its appeal. Um, and then let's see. People have been asking how I how they can support the show. Streamlabs.com/the Whitfield Report. That's one way that you can support the show. Another way you can support the show is patreon.com/Whitfield. Which I'm gonna have to do some changes to my Patreon page. It's a bit outdated right now, so if you sign up, the rewards are not going to be the same. I don't even know like if I'm going to do like any extra like exclusive content on there. I mean I may do some, but it's not going to be like I'm not going to do like Nick DiPaolo does, where it's like 3 extra premium shows per week, just because I don't have time. I'm still a student, but I'll come up with some perks. Another way to support the show is to go to anchor.fm/Whitfield Report. That's where you can subscribe to the audio podcast on all of the audio podcast platforms out there. But then you can also subscribe monthly there too. There aren't perks for there either, but I would really appreciate your monthly support. And then if you're not a monthly supporter, you can go on PayPal or Streamlabs for one-time donation. But I mean, the best thing you guys can do is like the videos and share them and stay up to date. And then in terms of like subscribing to the audio podcast, that's another difference I have between Owen. Owen craps on having sponsors. He says that having sponsors that they censor you. I mean, most podcast sponsors, I don't really buy that argument in 2019. Because, I mean, podcast sponsors will let you get away with a lot. I mean, Mersh and Royce on ROTC, they have a sponsor. I know they only have one, but still it's, they have a sponsor. They're friendly enough for advertisers. Legion of Skanks has a bunch of, sponsors. Gas Digital does. Corolla does. Rogan does. And, they're not none of them are exactly like FCC friendly. So, the fact that Owen got himself so far in hot water that like no sponsor wants to deal with him, it's not left-wing bias. It's, its business is going, ugh, we can't do business. The way I do sponsors, though, is through the audio podcast, and if you just merely, download the podcast, that helps me, too. So, yeah, I mean, Guns for Tards is a charity, although we need, machetes for cripples, or, machetes for crips, or, something like that. So, let's see. Streamlabs. So, nothing's popped up yet, but let me just make sure that some of these windows in some of these alert boxes are alive, so I'll see them. They should be. Okay, the alert box was not live on the preview, so I could not see that. But thank you, Susie Q. I really do appreciate that. Susie Q's been she's an OJ streamer for as long as I've been doing YouTube. I think that's the other thing is. The one good thing that came out of me joining the Bears, well, two good things. One, I met John Arcade in the Danger Zone, and those guys are awesome. Everyone should go subscribe to John Arcade if you're not there already. The other thing that was awesome was they really pushed me to start streaming the show live on YouTube because I was like an audio-only podcast guy at the time. And, yeah, I mean, since I started live streaming, the show's grown. I mean, even now, I'm amazed I'm just doing this from an iPad. I'm doing bare bones minimum. I'm just talking to you guys, and I've got like a pretty good live audience. Yes, I was a bear, unfortunately. Do any of the long-time listeners, I've told this before, do any of you guys remember, what my bear name was? Anyone? No, John Arcade, I'm not going to shave everything. Oh God, I'm especially not going to shave my eyebrows, buddy. Are you nuts? Well, yeah, you are. So but I love you, Johnny. No homo. I do. I mean, I love all the original, the OG DZ. But let's see. Oh, there's not a ghost in here. There's probably just a cockroach. But no. Let's see. Did anyone? Amethyst is correct. Podcast Bear was my original name. Thanks, Amethyst. Very cool. So that was the other funny thing is, even when I was in the Bears, when I was in the Bears for the brief time I was for like the 40 days that I was in the when I was a bear, I decided, okay, this is a creative community of different people, like, doing creative things for other conservatives and libertarians. I might as well shill for my own podcast. So I picked the name Podcast Bear in hopes that like a lot of other bears would ask, well, Podcast Bear, what's your podcast? And I would go, I'm glad you asked. And I would tell them. Dolev didn't like that. And neither did a lot of the people in Owen's inner circle because they thought that I was simply trying to mooch off of Owen's community. Despite the fact that I was creating original content and, but Base Texan and a few of those other people were just creating clips channels of Owen and doing nothing original. That was okay, but God forbid I wanted to use the community to like build my own platform a bit. And if Owen had if Owen was still sane, God, that's the one thing. If Owen had been normal, I think I would have been able to do a lot for him. Yeah, Suzuki brings up a good point. As if they weren't mooching off Owen. Yeah, I guess Owen was the cash cow, and they needed it. Johnny Arcade Sam needs a mohawk. Johnny, I had a mohawk as a baby. It was the weirdest thing. I wish Owen was normal bear. I think everyone does who's woken up to the truth. Ignore the ghost at your peril. Well, here's the thing, Christian Defender. It's not Owen or the bears. Maybe it's one of like the 6 dead people that Nimmer claims to have killed, trying to reach out to me. I don't know. Let's see. No, my mother is not a punk chick. Although she's one of the few boomers. She's one of the few baby boomers I know. By the way, I do like to differentiate between baby boomers and boomers. Baby boomers, just baby boomers who are like normal, who make the attempt to understand technology and be not boomery-ish. I have no problem with them. But yeah, my mom is one of the few baby boomers to have raised me on. I grew up listening to Nirvana, and The Who, and Led Zeppelin. I mean, I know that some of that classic rock music is boomerish, but she's not a boomer. I know. Yeah, I know it's you, Jen. Oh yeah, Amethyst is in the chat here. Amethyst just reached out to me today too. So, hey, it's the new kid showing up too. How you doing, future nobody? Let's see. One step too far. My mother raised me on being a doctor and leaving me the... Oh, yeah. Well, okay, I see how you are. I see how you are, Johnny. You're just using my chat room to, you know, to have conversations amongst yourself. I see how it is. But, no. Oh, one step too far. I do have a video idea that I want to run by you for your next, video. So, I'll be sure to DM you. But yeah, this was great though. Um, this was ab this was absolutely great. Just what Mersh was able to do on NightWave Radio with making Owen spiral about Crowder. It was terrific. And I mean, he was already kind of against Crowder though. So I just can't wait till he turns on Vox Day though. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Is when he turns on Vox. Oh yeah, I'm sure we've got good. Hey, hey, future nobody. I actually do have a video idea for you. Since you're the one who does the the some of the movie editing, which is very well done by the way. I'm wondering if it's possible, if it's legal for anyone who knows like video editing to do like a Narcos, to do like the intro to Narcos and you know, have it be something with like the Bears though, and have Owen be Pablo Escobar. I've actually had that concept in my uh, brain for a while because Owen is the equivalent of like a narco terrorist. Um, he is the internet equivalent. I mean, in terms of YouTube at least, of Pablo Escobar, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sell it. I just want to, you know, I mean, Owen still loves guys with mustaches, and Pablo Escobar had a mustache, so yeah, I mean, he and Vox Day, I mean, they kind of run a cartel, and DZ and Nightwave we're the DEA, and Johnny Arcade is Agent Pena. So for those of you who watch Narcos, you'll get that reference. So let's see. One step too far. I can't. So here's the thing. I'm doing this from I'm actually doing this technically from mobile. It's from my iPad, so I can't play videos on this one. Uh, I in this application. I would also like to point out that I am streaming on Wi-Fi and I'm streaming on a mobile device, and it hasn't crashed once for me, you guys. I'm spurring out because my internet is too good. It's not crashing at all. And I'm not going to yell at you guys. Well, I mean, I kind of did spurt out there for a brief when Johnny was telling me to, mind my own business. It's my chat, John Arcade. You can leave. But, no. See, I don't even get angry or spurg out like Owen does. So, but yeah, one step too far. One step too far is awesome too. He did a video like 2 months ago of uh, Andrew Breitbart, kind of like a from beyond the grave thing, talking about what a bisexual faggot Crowder was and how dishonest Glenn Beck is doing. I love the background track for that video too. One step. So, you know, to be honest, that's actually one of the reasons why I watched that video. It was just because I love the background track. But I actually have an idea, because I've talked about how on my stream too about how I believe Andrew Breitbart, legend, an actual legend too, by the way. Andrew Breitbart would have despised what the conservative new media has become with all of these LARPers like Gavin and Crowder and I know for sure Breitbart would have never even let Owen in the door. Or if he had, he would have never let Owen spiral the way he did with Twitter. Breitbart would have told Owen, hey dude, you need to have some decorum on Twitter. Like, I understand that if you're a free speech guy, but you might not want to be yelling, the N-word all the time. And then had Breitbart, had Owen continued to, had Owen taken the exact same path that he's taken, and had Breitbart been alive, he probably would have been interested in the Gummy story. This is just my theory. This whole feud with Owen would have been over like eons ago if Breitbart were still, alive. But make no mistake, Breitbart is here. Breitbart is here. I don't want to rename the stream Breitbart is here, but I mean, I still like using that hashtag. I mean, Mersh and Royce are citizen journalists as well. My friend Daylight Disinfectant is a citizen journalist. He's the one who knew Andrew Breitbart. John Arcade is a reluctant citizen journalist, but by clipping, in a way, he's doing citizen journalism. Chuck should have won the Citizen Journalism Award of the Year in 2018 for going exposing Eric Nimmer. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with some of the chat. Okay, did I miss something here? One step. No, I don't have a speech impediment. Yeah, I do have cerebral palsy, but I do not have a speech impediment. The only time that I guess I really kind of have one is either when I'm tired or when I'm drunk, and I am neither. And the drunk is just because I'm drunk like people be when they're drunk. But yeah. Oh, by the way, that was the other thing. Owen made fun of a Owen. There was an actual disabled comedian named Joe Earl that has cerebral palsy, a little more severe than mine. Like he's a legit, he's more of like a legit cripple than I am. Mine's not that bad. Joe's is a little more severe, but Joe Joe Earl got Owen to spiral in an online roast battle, which I thought was funny, but this was the other reason why I left the Bears. Because, Owen's best retort to Joe Earl was basically to have the audience write really bad wheelchair jokes. Like, they were god-awful. They weren't funny at all. They were so unfunny, I can't remember them. They were more like insults. That part didn't upset me all that much. The part that did upset me, though, was when the Bears started going after Joe, and actually some of them threatened him with physical harm. And so Joe, for a period of time, shut down his social media and whatnot because the Bears were bullying him. And yeah, Sam left the Bears because he and John Neary fell. Well, I mean, we kind of did. I mean, we kind of have like a bro relationship. But then again, I mean, I also have a bro relationship with John Arcade. So, that's not gay at all. Let's see. So, yeah. So one step. My idea, if I didn't mention it before, was to basically do like another Breitbart video with the same music, but to kind of do the thing more about Owen and how Breitbart would have disliked Owen. I know that one was more about Crowder with bits of Owen. But if Breitbart could kind of haunt Owen from beyond the grave. Oh, and Breitbart was Jewish too. Like, I know he wasn't a devout Jew, but to have a Jewish legend like Breitbart haunt Owen from beyond the grave, that'll make him spiral. Basically, I just want Owen out of it. I mean, Owen's on his way out of the conservative movement, but it just can't come. Yeah. I'm glad I got blocked by him, and I found out about Owen from Alex Jones. Oh, you're doing an Owen sci-fi. Cool, man. No. No, you don't have to apologize. I don't have OCD or ADHD, but right now I'm kind of acting like it with the chat. Let's see. Wait, Owen showed his boobs today? His man boobs? That's not the type I want to. Those aren't the boobs anyone wants to see. Like, okay, even some women, even women in general, if you know, they no one wants to see man boobs. Just to put it directly and somewhat politely, like no one minds female breast. No one. Uh, but people do mind man boobs a lot. Uh, yeah. Uh, wait, wait, Johnny, speak for yourself, Sam. I'll take. No, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, Johnny. You're as much as you would like to try and convince me that you're not gay. I know that you're straight. That you're as straight as I am. That you're, like, what's the opposite of a flamboyant gay guy? What's the polar opposite of a straight guy? Uh, hurricane cat. Um, I feel like okay. This is not the boob conversation I thought we would have on stream. I thought if we ever had like a boob conversation on stream, it would be like ranking, you know, playmate playmates or something like that. Never in my wildest, never in my imagination did I ever think we'd be talking about Owen Benjamin's disgusting boobs. Boobs should be pretty, not. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, there are some. There are women, who are nah to too. But yeah, I never thought I never thought we'd be talking about Fat Owen is. So I never thought we'd be mocking Owen still at this point. When we left back in May, I thought that was it. I was done. I was ready to be done. Um. Yeah, Owen is one. No, man, you do you. You do you one step. Yeah, you do you. Because see, I know that you're not Ellen. So whatever. So, and if your partners get excited by my stream, well then I must be doing something right. Uh, Latier is every time Amy gets on camera, I can see it in her eyes. She does not love that man child. Yeah. If Hurricane Cat is right, if they're Trump babes, send them to me. But Amy is plotting her escape. Well, I guess people need to save Amy. But hmm, Amy wishes she picked the other famous guy. What other famous guy is there? Me? I'm not that famous. I am better. I am better looking than Owen. But oh, that's great. Everyone's doing nightly activities on my stream. This is post NightWave wave, I guess. But yeah. Well, aha! Johnny Arcade goes, I'm out of the trans closet. I knew it, Johnny Arcade. I knew it. I knew it. But I still love you anyway. Well, it's after. Yeah, it is midnight wave. I feel bad that I'm not able to play videos or anything. Although I guess I could play off my phone real quick. This may or may not work. I don't know if it'll work. Yeah, oh, cool. So Susie basically, just kind of refunded me my super chat that I gave to Mersh. That was cool. Thanks, Susie Q. Very cool. So let me see if this will work because I am mic'd up. So I tried sending Mersh a clip of my show, of one of my best parts of the show, I think. As I said before, the clip I was trying to play was when Johnny Arcade was trying to explain the pricing of unauthorized TV, and Jolly Roger burst out laughing.
A month to a separate more Johnny Arcade videos and clips and everything from that.
Yes. So that just goes to show how stupid he really is, because he's going out of his way.
Can you guys hear this?
His ass, even though they both know that he is the main draw to this whole motherfucker.
Well, now I guess they got this Chuck guy, who's a comic book writer. He came up with the Bane character.
It's good.
So.
Oh no, they got Chuck Dixon.
Yeah, they have a bunch of his content on the site. So what I was reading from some of his fans is that his content is worth the subscription. However,
oh yeah, Chuck Dixon is a legit guy.
Right, but here's the thing: the way that website
You'll understand, Johnny.
Owen doesn't get Chuck Dixon's money. Chuck Dixon gets Chuck Dixon's fucking money. It's all set up on different channels, so you have to go subscribe. Like, so for instance, Owen has 2 channels. If you want to watch his gardening shit, you can do that. If you want to watch his family shit, then you have to subscribe for another $5 a month to a separate channel on there. Yeah. Dude, better than that, bro. If you want a year subscription, all the premium shit, a year to all the premium, like $275.
Wait, $270 a year for all of them?
Yes.
When Daily do they even know what market they're in? Like, Daily One is $99 for the year, you get all of them. CRTV's $99, you get all of them. Netflix is still $10 a month, that's $120 for the year. And they're charging twice what Netflix is charging? Do they even know what they're doing?
Oh my god. Obviously
As
not.
valuable as Netflix? Are you guys crazy? $250 for the year.
Oh.
Oh, that's amazing.
So they're twice as valuable as Netflix.
Hey,
Nice job, guys.
three
Nice
words,
job.
bro. 3 words. Bigger than InfoWars.
Dude, they're bigger than Netflix.
Oh shit.
So, oh god. So the reason I'm playing. Oh god. The reason I am playing that is because of Jolly Roger's laugh. Jolly Roger's laugh. Jolly has like one of those laughs where when you hear it, you start laughing, or at least I do because I'm a sicko like Jolly is. Jolly is. But Jolly's laughter. Jolly's laughter is the sound. That is the collective sound of the internet laughing at you, Owen. It's Jolly's laugh. It is the collective sound of the internet laughing at Owen in Vox in unauthorized TV. I mean, I never watch my own clips, or I rarely do. I rarely watch my own clips, but I guarantee you that I've played that clip for myself at least 20 times this week, and I've died laughing. Between that and the Barcelona Boomers episode, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's I mean, in the fact that Jolly is our pirate here at the Whitfield Report is even better. I believe it or not, I've actually gotten requests from people to clip that laugh and to like post that laughing segment as its own video. I might do it. I might, but I don't know if I will. Oh, thank you, Lisa Mason. 070. Do you do? Oh yeah, Barcelona Boomers is great comedy. I kind of want to play that right now, except obviously I don't have the video. But I mean, God, I like mature humor, you know, kind of like dark humor. But then like Barcelona Boomers is just childish enough to where I laugh my ass off at that too. Okay, well if you guys want me to play the audio from Barcelona Boomers, I will play it, and you guys will get to see my reaction. Also, the theme music from Barcelona Boomers is very whimsical. Seriously, it's whimsical. So, Barcelona. You just type in Barcelona Boo and then Barcelona Boomers pops up. Episode 1.
Welcome to Barcelona Boomers, brought to you by Unauthorized TV, starring Vox Day, this fat guy and his wife, and Owen Benjamin.
The music is so damn whimsical.
On Barcelona Boomers, we meet our our boomers, Farley and Elizabeth. The couple goes for a hike. Farley has an accident on the trails, and the two indulge in evening food and wine. Let's get to it. So, let's meet our boomers, Farley and Elizabeth.
So I'm Farley.
I'm Elizabeth.
This is Barcelona Life.
Yeah, Johnny, like I said, I can't pull the video
Like
up
most
on
boomers,
this.
Farley is some kind of business consultant. Not sure what exactly he does. Farley's resume is full of impressive sounding and ambiguous accomplishments. He has
Wow,
been
not
married
bad,
twice,
actually.
with 3 children and at least 1 illegitimate son. He drives a Buick. Elizabeth is also a consultant with a full list of generic accomplishments. She enjoyed a career in marketing and journalism before marrying a rich guy and making it big. She has been married 3 times over.
This
Now
is
that she has
this
found
is
Farley,
pirating,
the
right?
money is simply too good to leave.
So we're gonna just walk around our neighborhood a little bit, show
Oh,
you a few
crap.
things about where we live and how we live.
It's a beautiful day.
Ooh. Crap. I hit the. Oh, okay. I hit the.
The boomers are out for a little hike with their dog. Nature. How fun. These days, Farley and Elizabeth
Oh,
reside
crap.
in Spain,
Oh, focus.
where they are focused on indulging.
I love the indulgence.
Being a poor role model for the next generation and blowing their children's inheritance. They should be retired, but continue to sit on various advisory boards, where they collect money for doing comparatively little. What a great gig. Together, they are doing their part to bankrupt Social Security and run their culture into the
Oh
ground.
God.
Last year, Farley had a heart attack and collapsed on the trail. Too much red meat.
Oh God.
Not to worry, the doctors will keep him going for another 30 years. They are also sporting double-soled Velcro shoes for stability.
Oh, 07 Fate of
Elizabeth
Kings.
are big nature
This is
lovers.
the reaction video I was going to
It
do.
turns out that one of the most dangerous creatures in Spain is actually one of the smallest, and it's called the pine processionary caterpillar.
Like most boomers, they have no clue what they're talking about. They must have watched a TED
Oh
talk on
shit, you're
this.
right. Farley is going to be Owen's next dad, everyone.
Farley goes out with his can, his spray can, and he sprays all the nests, and people think he's really weird.
Just doing my part.
Whatever floats your boat. Oh look, the ocean.
Uh,
Hi, Farley. How you doing?
Hey there.
Farley, don't be a gaylord. Very cringe. The couple stops for a break. Post meal replacement. Jesus.
oh.
Farley. Good stomach. Take us to the ocean.
Oh no, this is where I completely lose it.
No. Some trouble on the trail. Farley has shit his pants.
Oh,
Too much lobster and caviar for lunch. He forgot to wear his depends today.
oh God.
It's bad. The couple doubles back to the villa. Now, it's time for what you need to understand. With Vox Day, Teddy Spaghettis.
Oh God. This is the best part.
See, this is what people don't understand. They think my arms are pretty big. You should have seen them 3 months ago.
Oh
It's the best
God.
way to win more
I am losing it here.
of young blonde kids. That's how you win.
Oh God. Oh shit.
Despite Farley's soiled pants,
Oh God.
let's make it back to
I've
the
got to
villa.
pause this real quick.
Please, clean up all your wheeler poopy if you don't want to see Jesus harmed. The villa is equipped with all
Hold on,
kinds of
hold on,
luxuries.
guys. Okay, so one of the things is hysterical to me about this particular part is that I don't know if you did this on purpose, Fate of Kings, but Fate of Kings has the music for this is Fanfare for the Common Man, which was an orchestral piece written during World War II in tribute to the working class Americans who were working in factories and, you know, doing their part to work here at home during the war effort while our boys were overseas fighting the Nazis and the Japs. Or as my late grandfather used to like to say, the Slits and the McCrabs. Wait, no, that's the Irish. Well, he was an alcoholic after the war, so I don't know. But anyway, Fanfare for the Common Man was an anthem, you know, for working class Americans, and the fact that Fate of Kings has that playing right as these, you know, douchey boomers are going into their opulent, you know, multi-million-dollar mansion is priceless. I don't know. I don't know if that was. Yeah. You. Oh, so you are saying that it was totally coincidental. Well, there you go. There's another element of humor that you weren't even counting on, Fate of Kings. And there's your history lesson for the day, everyone. So, that was also a nice breather, so I didn't collapse from laughing so hard.
Including a pool, mini fridge, and cable TV. The thermostat is always set in order.
Fanfare for the Common Man, everyone.
Farley gets cleaned up and catches Fox News, while Elizabeth gets some snacks ready.
Oh, God.
It's finally time for evening indulgences. But first, hanging with Big Bear, with Universal Subject Matter expert Owen Benjamin.
Everybody knows that the American black is designed for manual labor. It's almost like they bred these guys like they're like Westminster dog shows, you know, just jacked, ripped. Everyone knows that they were bred to do slave labor.
The Jew hitting the bear is hilarious.
A bottle of wine each to start? Why not?
And this one we have a more local white.
So remember I was talking about earlier how even though my mom is a baby boomer, I explained what a boomer in air quotes was to her, and she completely understood the definition. And she was actually telling me that she was at a restaurant the other day, and she saw she saw a couple her age doing this, and, thought it was cringy, having a bottle of wine for each. Very cringe. Very cringe.
It's again from the Penedis region, made with the white granate.
Okay, yeah, we don't care. I am the narrator here. Thank you.
Nothing sexier than a man with a tool belt.
False. Farley has never owned a tool belt. In fact, he has never used tools in his entire life.
Notice the legs. I mean on the one.
Oh, cringy boomer joke.
Elizabeth has slipped a Viagra into Farley's drink. It's Chico Wow Wow time later.
We've got some snacks cooking.
What a treat.
Okay, so we're back with some typical Catalan fare. Basically just take your garlic.
Farley saw this on TV.
Oh.
He rubs shit all over the bread and thoroughly destroys it.
Take your tomato.
Farley, are you doing? A concerned Elizabeth looks on. Looks delicious, now that he's touched everything with his soiled hands.
Oh God, his hands are still soiled.
From sunset to sunrise the next day. No rest for the weary. It's a tough life, but someone has to do it.
Alright, it's a good start.
Yeah.
We'll have the answers by next episode. Next month.
This brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next time on Barcelona Boomers.
Johnny Arcade gets a credit in here somewhere. Thanks, Fate of Kings. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Yeah, that's how you make an actual episode of a show. That was a parody, and it was better than the actual Barcelona Boomers. Oh yeah, so everyone's asking about Bunny Galore and that mod. Bunny Galore is one of the reasons why I recently canceled my subscription to Nick DiPaolo's podcast. And I like Nick. But I recently saw that Nick DiPaolo, I guess back in January, he actually went on, he actually went onto Chuck's channel, and Nick, you know what? So Bunny was basically cried to Nick that, like, Chuck, who, if you know Chuck, you know that Chuck is one of the nicest guys ever. One of the times that Owen went on to Nick DiPaolo's show, which Nick, never have Owen on. It brings down the quality of your show, and you're gonna lose subscribers. I mean, you lost one with me, but Chuck, when Owen went on to Nick DiPaolo's show one time, at the time Nimmo was still, like, tight with Owen. So all Chuck did was post in Nick DiPaolo's chat that, if you want to investigate Stolen Valor, you should go to the Stolen Valor Project's website. He posted the link. Coddington and everyone else was like, well, these trolls followed me, from the Bears. Bunny, please ban them. So basically, Bunny, who was modding for Nick at the time, banned people for Owen's chat, basically. And then, like, I guess she went and cried to Nick about it. And, and then Nick went on to, I just found this out, Nick went on to Chuck's channel and shit-talked him back in January, and had I known that back in January, I would have canceled then. Nick, you're a great comedian. I like your comedy, buddy, and I like your politics. You went, in my book, Nick, you just went from baby boomer to boomer. So, another word of advice, Nick. You're friends with Louis C.K. And, I've talked about Louis C.K. on the podcast before. Louis C.K. apologized for doing inappropriate stuff in his 20s. He should be allowed to come back. I applaud Nick for, still being friends with Louis. But even so, I mean, that's kind of taken a toll on Nick's career. I know that you're not super close with Owen, Nick, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But I will say, you might want to do a little more research into who you have on as guests before you just book people. So I get it with Lee that they were close friends too. But yeah, I mean, Nick lost a subscriber, so oh yeah, I mean Nick DiPaolo and Louis C.K. were close friends. But I mean, yeah, which one? The one behind me? I can't reach that one. I can put on my baseball cap though. So I canceled my subscription to the Nick DiPaolo podcast, and I am now going to be becoming a Patreon of NightWave or ROTC, I guess. So, but let's see. Yeah, I know. That's the one. That's the one that's hanging up. I can't really get to it. So, but yeah. This is the only hat I have right now. So. Yeah, I do need a grabber whole thing. Let's see. John Arcade, paint your face like Gene Simmons for the next show. Dude, I have a friend who does a great impression of Gene Simmons. He used to call into the Dennis Miller radio show and do a Gene Simmons impression, and it's fantastic. Gene Simmons is cool. No, I'm not getting a stripper pole on here. I mean, and if I were to, I'm not going to be the one to get on the pole. The Dangerettes are going to be the ones to do the pole. That or the Trump babes. So, yeah, Crowder did the well. Yeah, it was cringe. That's true. I could spin the pole. So, well, I suppose I could borrow one from Mersh. He used to work in the strip club business, right? I could, well, I wonder if that's where Owen met Amy, right? Because you always hear of of chicks who are getting their PhDs or whatever she has working in clubs. So I'm just wondering. If we buy you a pole, you must install. Well, I mean, I could install it better than Owen could probably. So, so no, he didn't. No, he did not, Johnny. How would you know? That would be my question. How would you know that that was how uh, they met? Lord Joy. So yeah, you would know, you would, yeah. No, Johnny, you have not been wrong about Owen, but she's well, I mean, she's how can I put this? She's not ugly. I thought she was kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie, at one point, but being married to Owen, I do feel bad for her. So, hmm. Well, I mean, maybe she and Sammy have strippers on during your next show for them like hikes. That's a good idea. I think YouTube would kick me off. I think I might have to move the show to Pornhub, which, by the way, Milo was thinking of doing that actually for serious. Milo was thinking of starting like a political show on Pornhub. I kid you not. Yeah, Amy is pretty. Um, not as not as not as pretty as our Amy as an amethyst. I personally think, but and not as pretty as Lisa Mason or Hurricane Cat or Christy or Shady or Bippity Boop or any of the or Susie or any of the other uh, viewers of the female persuasion. But that's also because she's been married to Owen for so long. So see what I did there? I complimented the audience. Uh, well, also trolling Owen. So see, I have multiple talents, and I sincerely mean it too. So thank you, Mason. I think that's the first time I've gotten hearts. I mean, Johnny Arcade has sent me the kiss face emoji before, which, that's kind of gay. But, you know, like I said, bromance. So, yeah, oh seven to you too, Fat Kick Boy. Oh 07. Uh, Amy looks like the guy from. Amy does not look like Brian. Do you mean? Do you mean Skylar, Walter's wife from Breaking Bad? Because she does look like a little bit like Skylar there at the end. Oh yeah, yeah, Jolly and I could go off roading. So did uh did I get more Streamlabs? Was that what I just Was that what I just saw? I thought I had notifications turned on for the oh. So. Well, okay. Honestly, I don't have anything against Amy. I seriously don't. She seems. I mean, I would say she seems nice when she's not around Owen, but you know, she just seems clueless. I mean, I do feel bad for their kids, ultimately. Those kids seem nice. But, I mean, they're also toddlers, so... Oof. Yeah, the women... Okay, the women in the chat here are being brutally honest about Amy here. Yeah. For how educated Amy is, she does. Well, that's the thing. Educated people, just because you're educated, doesn't mean you're always. It doesn't always equal smart, either. It just doesn't. Feel bad that the kids aren't going to school. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad that they're not at least giving the kids the option. Now, okay, here's the other thing. And this isn't just a gripe I've had about Owen. This is kind of a gripe I've had about, like, conservative Inc. in air quotes. Conservative Inc. You know, boomer conservative. You know, for years we've now heard that colleges are liberal hotbeds. And they are. There's no denying that. So, what's the conservative approach to, you know, fixing the liberal bias on college? Well, either you bring in Turning Point USA, which I'm not going to get into Charlie Kirk, but let's just say I have friends who formerly worked for Turning Point, and their experiences haven't been good. And I'll just leave it at that. Their approach to the college liberal bias problem is to either bring in, like, Turning Point or, and this is my big criticism, well, colleges are filled with liberal bias, so it's useless for kids to go to college. They're not going to make anything, so, let's send them all to trade school because we need people in the trades and we need trades. Now, believe me, I'm not, like, if you want to get into trades, I do think the trades are useful. My stepdad's a carpenter. I have, you know, relatives in the trades. I have friends in the trades. Trade school is good. But if you know, like, what you want to do, college is not completely useless either. You know, like, for me, I can't do trade school. Like, me being in a wheelchair, I'm not going to be able to, you know, do construction or welding or something safely. So it's not an option, but college is for me. So I'm majoring in, well, I don't want to dox myself that much, but I'm majoring in, you know, something that has to do with technology that's actually very useful. Although I suck at math too, so let's see. Hang on, I'm just reading the chat. Oh, Gabe is in the chat too. 07 to you, Gabe. I mean, yeah. Now everyone's talking about. I do feel bad for her. But you know who I feel worse for, rather than Amy and Owen. Like here's the thing that I'm confused about. How is Owen still single? I mean, how? That. Whoops, faux pas. How is Owen married, and I'm still single? That's the question. I mean, and I don't. It's kind of a rhetorical question. I don't expect the chat to have answers. It would be hilarious if they did though. But I mean, if a guy like Owen can get married, if Owen can get married, then there's certainly hope for me. Jolly is a 9, so. I would say I'm a 9 point. I would say I would say I'm an 8. I mean, as far as disabled guys go, I'm a 10. But like, I'm kind of a 10. So. No, I'm not going to say that you're a 9. That you're a 9, Jolly. So. Thanks, Susie. Well, that was the other thing too. Now that I think about it, Owen was going to do like an Unbearable's dating app, too, at one point. That would have turned out disastrous. I mean, I was going to broach the idea of like a RTC dating app or like something as a joke, because that would be way disproportionate either. And I mean, I don't know, there might be a few of us guys in there. I mean, I know that Mersh would be in the pool, but I don't think Mersh cares either about dating at this point. So, thanks, Lisa. I'd be happy to buy you dinner with some of that super chat money. So, but yeah. Well, I mean, Owen thinks he's an 11 too, but he's it's not. Yeah, a bear dating app. That. That is Grinder. Yeah, that's true. It does exist, and it's called Grinder. Hang on. Oh, by the way, 07 to Gabe, because he's been cleaning out the Bears, they never comment on my live streams. They always comment in the comments section of my videos. I know they watch, one or two of them might be watching now, but they never come into chat. They always come into my comments, and Gabe and El Jefe have been, pretty good at, and Executy, geez, when Executy gets into my, chat, Executy is base Texan. Well, oh, no, never mind, that's a horrible comparison. Executy is what base Texan thinks he is. Wait, Sam, are you implying that that base Texan thinks he's a hot woman? Well, yeah, that's exactly what I'm implying. Base Texan probably thinks he's like a hot woman, like assassin. But Executy is she isn't an assassin. She's a content assassin. Bears cry in my comments after Executy is done with them. So, oh gosh, yeah, I'm not sure how Executy feels about me. I don't know. I think she thought I was weird when I first joined, but I also know that Executy, she gives everyone a hard time. So, yeah. Executy is beholden to Dr. O. Well, I mean, there's not much I can do about that. Because, I offered, I guess Lisa and I are, going to be going on a date soon or something. So, I can't, I mean, Dr. O is the booty warrior. I mean, what can I say? And by the way, for those of you asking, I did finally get a chance to tune into Hippo Juice, because I know that some of you have been in the ROTC. You've been recommending Hippo Juice. I like Hippo Juice, and up until about like 3 weeks ago, I had no idea that Royce was married either. So, props to 07 to Mrs. Hippo Juice, as I call her. So, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, but I mean also Executing as I know Executing as a doll, but she's also gotten, pretty. She's carved up her fair share of bear meat in my comments. It's funny. It is, yeah. It is funny. Yeah, I mean, I can see why they. Yeah, Ragnarok. That's I guess that's exactly what Hippo Juice is. It's a stream with Royce and his wife or something. See that's the other reason why I'm still single. Is like, hey, I'm pretty political, so I could go on the MAGA, on the quote unquote MAGA dating scene, but some of those relationships are cringe. And then none of my ex-girlfriends really understood what podcasting was or what this was. And the political thing weirded them. It's not that it didn't weird them out. well, I mean, it weirded some of them out, but also some of them were libs, and it didn't go that well. So, um, so yeah, I mean, uh, uh, Sam is single because, well, no, if that's that's kind of you. No, I'm single. I'm single because I'm too picky. Honestly, I actually like to have a conversation with women, and I don't like airheads. And let's just say that when I was in high school, I did it like twice maybe, and both times yeah, didn't go well. And then college, a few of the girls I liked actually, they moved out of state and transferred schools. So, yep, Gabe nailed it on the head. Gabe says Sam's holding out for a sane girl. Good luck. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, and I mean, I know. That's the reaction. See, even the women are laughing. You guys stop laughing at my morally high standards. Otherwise, you're all banned for life. But no. Yeah, there are a few. Even Amethyst is laughing. So yeah, I have, yeah, my standards are way too high. So I I I'm I wouldn't say I'm choosy. Yeah. I like him witty. I like him at least to be interesting. So, and preferably not crazy. But well, I mean, crazy in a good way, not Ashton Birdie crazy. So, although she is, yeah. Well, do you want an apolitical chick? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I, I probably do. I just don't want a chick that's going to be diametrically opposed and, you know, like screaming pro-abortion stuff. But anyway, how did this become about me and my stuff? I don't even know what the main point of this stream was. I guess that like NightWave kicked ass tonight. That was the main point of this stream. So play some hot Oh my god. Thanks. Oh, I did I did watch the Hot Dish 4 video. Yeah. We've Jolly Roger, we've been over this, bud. The sanest woman I've been with gave me a Colombian necktie, and she's been on the low level. So that almost happened to me too. Not the necktie part, but Amethyst knows the story because I told this story. But I once had two like soccer chicks at my school. How can I put this? No, what the hell? There's no good way to say this. They propositioned me. And then I found out that one of them was allegedly with was allegedly the ex of a cartel associate. So that was a no go. But it makes and it's not that exciting of a story. But yeah, I mean, had I gone down that road, I would not be here to fight the Owen Benjamin war with you guys. Johnny Arcade, Sam, be careful. Jolly is going to try and Jolly doesn't need to steal mine. I hear that women like the pirate's long sword. So yeah, I might have been decapitated but I mean, oh yeah. But I mean, the way I see it, like I said, I'm still fighting our cartel, just a different type. So, behind every hot girl is a guy who's sick of her shit. Yep, I can say that from experience. On both, you know, I've been the guy to receive a hot girl, and I've been the guy to get sick of a hot girl. But yeah. Oh, right. $3 hot dish. Let me mute my note. Okay. Notifications should be muted. So, $3 hot dish 4. I promise I won't laugh as hard as I did with the Barcelona Boomers video, although it was hilarious. Okay, this will be the last video, and then I've got to go. But
There's a game called Hot Dish that I like to play. It was made by a man whose last name is Spaghetti. His first name's Teddy, but he likes to call himself Bob
again, I'm
City.
doing this from my No, I've got to go full screen.
Didn't see ya there. I'm Teddy Spaghetti. You may remember me from Barcelona Boomers and Hot Dish 3 and swatting of the handicapped kid. Wait a minute. Did you hear something?
Oh, and say hi to Vox for me.
And from Jewish tradition, that's deeply embedded in Jewish tradition, that the wise man is the man who learns from every man around him.
I told you gamma males that I would swat you just like the handicapped kid if you come near my books again. Boppity boopity. TV
Oh crap.
Book Boppity boopity.
Did we,
Welcome to the Hot Dish Fox Day.
did we lose the stream?
Foxday.blogspot.com. Welcome to the Reprehensibles, to the Unauthorized, to the VFM, to the Dread Ilk, and to the Bears.
I'm Teddy Spaghetti and welcome to Hot Dish 4. SWAT. Before we get started, click on the flying spaghetti monster to pray before the spaghetti god.
صليل الصوارم نشيد الأباء ودرب القتال طريق الحياة فبين.
You're doing great, kid. Now click on the dumpster to see what Owen, Benjamin, and Milo are up to.
Oh no, not Milo.
Hello Teddy Spaghetti, Milo here reporting for my first day of work at Unauthorized.
It's Theodorus. He invented the dumpster pump.
Oh,
He was the
God.
first man to say, you want to know what's best for anal sex with another man in an alley? To be able to glide in, almost like you're flying on roller skates.
Sound the alarms. It looks like a person by the name of Crippled at Birth just mentioned spaghetti and hot dish in chat.
That's not me, by the
The
way.
SWAT symbol to swat him. Great. Would you like to send Dread Elk or VFM?
Now I laughed at this part, and I'm handicapped myself.
Boppity boopity namaste.
Damn, that nigga dead. Oh, this is the best part. I hear there's a Hot Dish 5 sequel coming out. Hot Dish 5, the Vengeance of Sammy the Savage, where Vox Day has to go against another person in a wheelchair. Except this person in a wheelchair has a mech suit, or chain guns, or I don't know. $3 can make me the crippled John Wick if he wants to. Yeah, which by the way, I doubt that if anyone can actually somehow track down the guy who's handicapped who Vox allegedly swatted, that's what I've been looking for. I'm dead serious. If anyone can find out who that is and get in contact with that guy, I'd love to get him on the show and see if the cops actually swatted him. Our cripple has a 14-inch IQ. Johnny, that's not what IQ is, but thank you. The Bears will probably read that as I have a 14 IQ. No, that's what Owen's IQ is. So, I don't know. Vox claims that he got the Boston PD to swat a guy in a wheelchair because he left mean comments. But say the 14. Yeah, all I know is it was Massachusetts State. Oh, it was the Massachusetts State Police, according to Teddy Spaghetti. That's yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Yeah, Vox has 150. Guys, Vox has 150 IQ. That's genius. Yeah, okay, he doesn't have to prove it to. Okay, so Vox, I've said this before. Vox is basically just like a community college professor who's, or he acts like one. He's like one of those pseudo-intellectual professors who says a lot but then says nothing. So, yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I know. It probably is all BS, but still, if Vox did get a disabled guy swatted, then I want the guy who he swatted to come on the show to tell his story. Alright, guys. At any rate, though, it's this has been fun. So, any other? Well, we've been going for a little over an hour. So, thanks to everyone for tuning in. I didn't think I would get this many viewers on a late night stream. So you guys are, you guys are pretty alpha for staying up this late. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. God bless, guys, and I'll be back later tonight, actually, since it is technically Saturday here on the East Coast for the Whitfield Report Saturday edition. 10 p.m. I am the weekend shift, so I'll see you. I'll see you then. So, thanks for tuning in. 072 you all, and welcome to the new Savages. So I really appreciate you joining me. So. 072 you all, and as my friend John Neros likes to say, God, freedom, legacy in that order. 072 you all.